It's a beautiful day on the farm and it's about 8:30. I've done my chores, I've been a good boy. I'm Billy No Mates again. Well, I've got the two useless dogs sitting with me, and what a 24 hours it's been. So I thought I'd just throw the video on, obviously not scripted, and I thought I'd give you a bit of an update, what's been going on and what lays ahead for today. Hopefully today is going to be an England victory against New Zealand in the World Cup semi-final, and hopefully we'll play against Wales and give them a duffing in the rugby union final. This morning the old grey matter's been rolling around a bit, and it usually happens when Toon's not here, so she's gone off into town as per usual. She's took Nibbler with her, and she's got to get some duck food and a few other bits and bobs. But she's also got a nip to her mum's house late last night. Well, it's the wee small hours of this morning. It was about 1 o'clock. We got a phone call and Toon's mum had taken very ill, so she was worried and wanted to go to the hospital. So Toon rang around and got a car, because true to form it was a storm coming in, so couldn't take on the bike. Managed to get someone to drive Toon and her little niece and her mum to the hospital, and Toon came back at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So she's got to run around this morning, do a few things, and then head back to the hospital. They've been running some tests. Hopefully she'll be alright. It's a bit of a bad stomach. To me it sounded like food poisoning, but they weren't sure, so they wanted to keep her in and do a few more checks. So fingers crossed on that one. And then it just got me thinking, you know, with too much time on my own, thinking, got me thinking about my family. Yesterday I got some really bad news that my dear old Uncle Don had passed away. Lovely guy, so kind, funny, and all the years that I had the pleasure of knowing him, I never saw him in a bad mood, and one of the good guys. So that got me down a little bit, and it worries you, doesn't it? Because there's a lot of people in my family that are about that sort of age or getting there now, and it got me thinking, yeah, sometimes I do miss the UK. Not in as much as missing my fish and chips. I know I miss my fish and chips. Most of us Poms do miss our fish and chips. Certainly with the either the mushy peas, or like me, I was a bit of a connoisseur of mushy peas and that real cheap, nasty chip and chip. I was a bit of a connoisseur, really. I had the mushy peas with my fish and chips. Always haddock if I could get it, of course. And then I'd just drown it all with that real cheap, nasty fish chop. I'll cut that. Chip shop curry sauce. And maybe a squirt of ketchup on the side. I do miss that, but I don't sort of like beat myself up about it. I'm quite alright eating Thai food 3 times a day, 7 days a week. And I thought, well, what else do I miss then? Obviously, my family is the main one. But I don't sit here crying that I don't see them much. But as my mum gets older, certainly, and now there's more responsibilities on my sister's shoulders, and of course my brother-in-law as well, and they're really helpful, and let's say they're very much pulling their weight as far as taking care of my mum goes. So yeah, I wish I was there to help a hand a little bit more, and I do miss me chats. It's not the same over the phone, but these are the sacrifices. A lot of people say, well, you chose to move to Thailand, these are the sacrifices you make, and I totally agree with that. Nothing good comes easy, as they say. There's a few other things that I miss about the UK. Toon really misses the bowling, but you can bowl in Thailand, and she misses playing golf, and you can play golf in Thailand, and we miss our fishing. Well, we fish a lot in Thailand, but we miss just tipping up at a golf course just round the corner from where we used to live in Wiz Beach, and just pay as you play. And the last time we played, she outdrove me with a pink Yonex driver on the first tee. So I didn't really fancy playing that much after that. There was 4 guys watching as we teed off, And she played off the men's tee as well. She refused to play off the ladies' tee, said it was cheating. Fishing, well, we get our fill of fishing here, not as much as we used to, but we are going to try and get off site. What I mean, get off the farm a little bit and try a few places, and certainly a couple of places that we haven't fished before. So we are looking to try and rectify that, as long as we can get someone to take care of the farm for most of the day. Me and Toon don't go fishing for 2 or 3 hours. You're just getting into it, so we like to do a whole day. Certainly if you've got to drive a little way, and if you've got to pay someone to look after your place, you want to get your money's worth. You want to get a full cool box full of fish. I'll cut that bit out. I'm getting my words mixed up quite a bit, because one, lack of sleep, and two, we did get tipsy last night. Toon had an almighty blazing row in the village. I did say to her, "Oh, you fancy doing a video of it, love?" Last night she was up for it, but every other word would have been the F word, and I have been aware that it's not for everyone. So I'm sure you've noticed I have sort of like not bleeped it out, but some of the language I have toned down a bit by reducing the volume. I think overall it's the right way to go, but this story would not do it justice if she didn't recount her exact vocabulary. I think I stumbled on that one as well. I'll delete that out. I'll edit that out. We'd had a fairly bad day. Nothing to do with me and Toon per se. It was we get on fine 99% of the time, and it was just a few outside influences that tipped her over the edge, and she was ready for full rage before this unfortunate fella got in her way. And she was just going off the farm, and she had to nip out and do an errand for her mum. It was early evening, so we still had a lot to do, but things had to be dropped and done straight away. So frustration was surging through her veins, and as she went to one of the shops in the village, this guy, who'd had a couple of Lao cows, we think, approached Toon, and we did know him. We do know him, not particularly well, but he did some work with another builder on our house in the village, so we know him from a few years ago. And he came out the shop as Toon was going in, and Toon sort of like clocked that he wasn't jumping on his bike and was hanging around her bike. She thought, oh, he's obviously got something to say. So as she's done what she needed to do in the shop and made her way towards the bike, he was stood there smiling with an inebriated face. I think I stumbled on that as well. I'll edit that. And was smiling at her, and Toon was like, what? She wasn't in the mood to blah-de-blah. She wanted to know what the issue was. You got a Falang husband, didn't you? Yeah, you know I have. I got a cousin, I got a niece. They've all had Falang husbands. They've all got Thai husbands now. They divorced them. Still got the car, the gold, the house. When are you going to get a car? And Toon just turned round, at full volume apparently, looked him in the eyes and said, what the has it got to do with you? At which point, it's quite a small village, just about every household came out to watch the show unfold in front of their eyes. And what a show it was. Yeah, how could I say it? She basically interrogated and shamed him in front of everyone in the village. I won't tell you exactly everything that she said to him, but he wasn't far off crying. In the end, Toon apologised to him. She said, it's just your unlucky day, fella. I've had a bad day, and I'm sick and tired of people passing judgment on me and my husband, and you know, speaking bad about us. So it was just wrong day, wrong time. But now you know everything, and just about everyone in the village knows everything as well. because for the past few years, I mean, I know I've been in Thailand now full time, knocking on 2 years. I've been in Thailand for many, many years, interspersed between my work trips. And Toon's had to put up with this barracking and people passing their opinions in earshot, making it perfectly audible to her. So, you know, what I mean is, my words are terrible today, aren't they? Not that they're great normally anyway. But speaking loud enough that she can hear. So two old biddies will be talking in the temple and saying about, you know, what she's wearing or not wearing, and got this or haven't got that. And she's bit her lip, apart from one other time where she had a little bite of the cherry. She's let it go. And credit to her, I don't know how she's done it for so long, but I think just the accumulation of everything yesterday. When we had a few whiskies last night, which is the first time for 5 months, at least 4 months, maybe 5 months. It all came out, bless her. All the rage and da-da-da-da-da. But by the end, she was laughing about it, and she said, I do feel a bit guilty because she just verbally destroyed this guy. And I was sitting there, I think, it's about bloody time, love. You know, you've kept all this inside for so many years. Now everyone, that village, I don't know what other Thai villages are like out in rural Thailand. The people who didn't witness it, they'll all know by today almost everything about me and Toon, and her feelings towards people who pass judgment on us. Hey ho, this is why we live on a farm near no one, because sooner or later, just about everyone in the village gets both barrels. I mean, a couple of reasons. One, people don't like being shouted at, and we all know Toon is a shouter. But when she has conviction of her thoughts and you piss her off, she will shout straight at you. She looks at you in the eye, well, your third eye. Her eyes are gone red. And that's it. It's like she's going for your jugular with her words. And the other thing is, a lot of us, me included, and probably you as well, a lot of the time it's quite hard to take the truth. But I said to Toon, don't feel sorry for this guy. He asked the question. He put you on the spot in front of everyone. And you told him the truth. You know, if there's a possibility you're not going to like the answer, don't ask the question. And after Toon had told me everything, she was laughing about it a little bit. And she said she had some sort of like old lady behind her, sort of like cheering her on, sort of like, go girl, go girl. Because there's a select few that really know the story about me and Toon, or part of the story about me and Toon. Yeah, she had a little cheerleader, I think she's about 80 years old. She was like, like that behind her. So Toon could laugh about that afterwards, and good for her. And I did say to her, I said, Mrs. said, I am proud of you. And she said, well, no one's ever said that to me before. I said, I'm pretty sure your dad was always proud of you. I know as parents, none of us should have favourites, but he definitely had a soft spot for Toon, that's for sure. And even after nearly 15 years together, Toon still says things to me that surprise me. And she says, loads of people, and people in my family said they think I come from hell because I'm so angry with people and shout. And you know, in Thailand, of course, most of you all know, you shouldn't shout at people that are older than you. She's like, I don't care how old someone is if they're speaking bad to me. I'll give them it back. But a lot of people think you're a bad person for that. Don't get me wrong, she doesn't do it very often, but yesterday was the day. I don't know, I hope that a lot of people don't think that Toon puts it on as an act on the video. If anything, she's even more direct than what you see on the channel. I do cut a lot out now. The main reason to protect her. I don't want to start you know, having to have contact with people that become quite judgmental about wife. It's all right here, people being judgmental, because she can fight her own battles. But there's nothing worse than someone having a pop at your other arse. Certainly not when you know the real the real person inside that. So I can do without that. And yeah, I am. Toon would let it all roll as we used to. I do cut quite a bit out. I know a lot of you like it 100% raw, and giving it Toon's Barmy Army full throttle, but it's nah, I'm a little bit protected. I'm a little bit more protective now online. Well, that was quite a big tangent, really. I got off point, didn't I? Things that I thought I missed. Well, I did mention fishing, but the only fishing that we really miss is from our camping fishing trips in Anglesey during mackerel season. Yeah, we do miss that. And we said if we ever won the lottery, we would go back in mackerel season, and we'd buy another tent, and the airbeds and the sleeping bags and the barbecues and all that, and fishing gear, and we would go back for the full mackerel season. We'll go to Mackerel Rock and we'll bloody empty the sea there. And then when there's no more mackerel, we'll go and catch the pollock. When there's no more pollock, we'll go and get the spider crabs, and we'll stick them all on the barbecue and feed our faces. They were holidays with very, very happy memories, because it was a challenge to catch, to forage, kill, clean and cook your own food every day, and it was almost like you were admitting a defeat, having to go to the Tesco's and buy any food. So we used to take the rice with us, all the ingredients for Thai cooking. We used to set up like a mini kitchen at the side of the tent, and basically we knew we were on a good roll if all we were buying from Tesco's were cans of Strongbone cider. Happy days. We've got happy days now, but sometimes you just want to have a day just sitting back and what could we say? Just not really thinking about anything. We were talking about it yesterday, so I can't wait for the lake to be done in the future, and when we want to, when we feel almost the need to have time off, we'll just get the rods and we'll set up some shade, and we'll get comfy, and we'll take a cool box down to the lake, and we'll throw the rods out, and we'll just sit back and watch the goats eat, and try and catch our dinner, which we couldn't do the other day. So just to recap, because it was a bit of a blah-de-blah ramble, and I know it's not everyone's favourite, but it is part of our life here. I miss my fish and chips with my mushy peas, and the chip shop curry sauce thrown over the top with a squirt of ketchup on the side, with a hot cup of Yorkshire tea to wash it down. I know you can get fish and chips out here, but please, no. Golf, I don't really miss me golf. Bowling, not really. Still got my bowling shoes. Family, yeah, definitely. That's quite a hard one at the moment. And our little camping trips. Apart from that, I don't miss chuff all. Absolutely nothing. How could I miss anything when I got this here? There's nearly no one working on their farms. And now it's supposedly the start of the dry season, and most of the weeds and that are dying off themselves. No one's out spraying. Certainly no one nearby that I can smell or hear that's spraying chemicals. All I can hear are the birds, which is always nice, apart from I can hear the egard, the crows. All is good on the farm. Apart from that, look at that. Total waste of space. Right guys, I'm off to go and have a couple of organic bananas that are finally ripe. I haven't had bananas for a little while. I've got half a papaya cut up in the fridge, so I'm going to have that. Trying to detox after last night. That I can feel the whiskey sweating out me Swede. And then hopefully Toon will be back. The rice is cooked. We'll have a brunch. Then I'm going to watch the rugby. I won't be having a beer watching the rugby, because it's going to be what? I think 3 o'clock. So no, I won't be having any drinks for for a good few days. Whenever I have a few on one night, it knocks me off my game for quite a while. So I can watch rugby without beer. That was another thing I do miss. Bloody hell. Going to the boozer on a Saturday or Sunday to watch Liverpool play or watch England play. I never really liked watching club rugby. I like playing club rugby, but I only liked watching the internationals and more so obviously the World Cup. Football, I don't know why. I only like watching club football and I hate watching international football. I think international football's terrible. But if they made the semi-final or something, I'd probably watch it. So that's it. I know a lot of you guys that watch the channel, you're already out in Thailand, and you probably miss the same few things as me and maybe lots of others. But on the whole, what a great place to live, eh? For me anyway. For me and Toon. Right then. I need to go and hard edit this and get all my gobbledygook edited out. Cheers, guys. And that real cheap, nasty chip and chip fish chop. Nothing good comes good. A full cool box full of fish. I'll cut that bit out.